First off, I want to shout out my boy Red Horse Poppy out of the Philippines. The man is a baller and gave me the idea for this video. Shout out to him. If any of you guys have sports psychology or battles of the mind you want to cover in any sport, let me know. I'm going to start branching out to more sports here soon. So let's get to the main topic that has made the Summer League, the All-Star Game, and the regular season virtually unwatchable: the competition problem. Now, I've watched several other people cover this topic, and most of it is covering the actions and statements of the players, and I'll mention a few of them as well. But I really want to be a channel of solutions instead of just bashing on players. So as a former coach, I want to dig deeper into this issue and propose some solutions. And these solutions can work on any level. If you're watching and you're a parent trying to teach your kid healthy competitiveness, if you're a coach, or if you're an up-and-coming player who wants to up the competitiveness and commitment level on your teams, this should help you. Let's get to the first issue: the mentality towards coaches. The problem is, nowadays in the NBA, players like Kyrie and KD have pushed the narrative of "we don't need a coach," while at the same time often being mercurial, hard to deal with, and poor leaders. Although I give Kyrie credit, he has matured a lot since the Brooklyn debacle. You also have players like Chris Paul and LeBron who think they know more than the coach. You're never going to stop players at any level from having these thoughts, and heck, sometimes they may be right. But the problem is the backing. These general managers and owners put a crazy amount of due diligence into who they hire. If you believe in the coach enough to pay them $5 to $10 million a year, have their back when the star players aren't competing at a high level. People say Pat Riley was too hard on LeBron, that's why he left. No, Pat Riley is one of the few executives doing the right thing. He hired a coach he believed in and has had his back for almost 15 years now, even when the players were trying to get rid of him. And guess what, guys? They've been to 5 finals. The reality is he is being undermined by weak executives like Daryl Morey, who value analytics, star pandering, and stats over hard work and competitiveness. Owners aren't exempt either. Look at Matt Ishbia. He comes in thinking he's a basketball genius and forms a 2012 super team around 3 non-leaders, fired good coaches, and threw his team into a rebuild. This all affects competitiveness big time. Competitiveness is contagious. If one person on the court is hyper-competitive, it forces everyone else to get on board, or you're going to get embarrassed. The flip side is if star players aren't committed to defense or stand in the corner if it's not an ISO run for them, that trickles down to the rest. If players don't take rehab serious and or are late to meetings like Joel Embiid, that trickles down. So here's the solution. Owners and GMs hire a coach you believe in and actually have their back. Give them authority to run the locker room. No hard-ass autocratic garbage, but tough, fair, hard-working accountability. If you do that, you may have to trade away a James Harden or two, but you will end up with a long-term winning franchise like the Miami Heat. Watch, I bet you they'll be back in the finals in a couple years. Hold each player accountable to work hard and compete. If you're tired, we can reduce your minutes, but we're not doing load management or taking breaks on defense. And guys, if you're an athletic director or a principal out there, this works for your level too. If you know you have a good coach, have their back when the prima donna parents come. I promise you it'll be 1 step back, 2 steps forward. Go with the players that are working hard. The next major problem: overvaluing tools and undervaluing leadership and competitive nature. If you polled NBA GMs who'd you take between Jalen Green and TJ McConnell, it might have been 30-0 for Jalen Green before the playoffs. But after the playoffs, hopefully some teams are waking up to intangibles being a skill.
Genuinely believe that playing hard is a skill, because if it wasn't, everyone would do it. And, you know, when I came in and like, I'm trying to tell you about this guy, Chris Babcock, he's like, you need to stand out. He's like, nobody picks up full court, and you need to make that your calling card. And so we got in the gym 3 times a day, got in elite shape. And he's like, you're going to pick everyone up full court, and that's what you're going to hang your hat on. And it's something that I've created an identity about. And if you play really hard and make life hell for the other team, I mean, the other stuff like the offense, that shit will fall into place. But if you're going and playing to exhaustion every time you're out there, like I said, it gives you a chance to make a roster and to get more minutes. I mean, I feel like I've made a 10-year NBA career on, you know, just outplaying people. I mean, you have to have skill, obviously, but just making life really difficult on both ends.
Now quickly to LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and the All-Star Game. Now, if you guys remember, Michael Jordan and Dominique Wilkins were the 2 best shooting guards in the league in the late 1980s. They were both bona fide superstars and future Hall of Famers. Both players were averaging over 30 points per game, and they wanted to do the dunk contest to prove to the world who was the best dunker. And of course, knowing the savvy of MJ, he knew it would boost his shoe sales too. Now, LeBron and Kevin Durant have been directly responsible for destroying All-Star Weekend. When MJ came into the league, players like Bird and Magic taught MJ about playing hard, especially in the second half. They spoke of the importance of using the All-Star game to grow the game. MJ passed this on to Kobe, who was famous for upping the competition in the All-Star game every year, and even got his nose broken after igniting fiery defense from Dwayne Wade. Kobe also did the dunk contest as a rookie and became the youngest ever winner. He hadn't even really became a starter yet, but undoubtedly helped put him on the map and gained him many new fans and helped boost the league's popularity when Michael Jordan retired a year later. When Kobe began to age and the league was being handed off to Kevin Durant and LeBron James refused to do the dunk contest, and even to this day has not done it. Kevin Durant at least did the three-point contest twice in 2011 and 2012. But their biggest disappointment has been their leadership in the All-Star game. They have had the opportunity to teach the young players in the league about the importance of the All-Star game and at least making the fourth quarter competitive for the fans. But instead, they've led it so far in the opposite direction that the All-Star game has recently set records for most points scored and to become a completely unwatchable joke.
There were people that came before these guys. Now, you know as well as I do, Mike, 1 or 2 guys that have the right attitude about this, that is a superstar, changes everything. Remember what happened last year. In last year's All-Star game, Dr. J and Larry Bird, you heard the story just like I did, Wilbon. They made sure we know. Dr. J and Larry Bird walked into the locker room and talked to the players. And they talked to the players, and the NBA thought, yes, the players are really, really listening. They're really, really getting it. And then one of the superstars, who will remain nameless, but everybody can surmise who that was, gave a side eye to those guys while they were talking. And then the players went out there and let 400 points be scored.
Now there is hope. Victor Wembanyama last year put in effort and wasn't afraid to shy away from a showdown with dribbling wizard Kyrie Irving. This gives us all hope that a new wave of leadership can bring forth new competitiveness and make it watchable again post LeBron and KD. You got this, Wemby. When scouts are looking on who to draft and sign, intangibles of leadership, hard work, and hustle should be valued just as much as jumping high. Now sure, you can potentially coach up an immature, young, one-and-done star to teach them more leadership, but usually making millions of dollars just brings out more of what was already inside you. The next part is firmly on us, the fans. Many fans only watch highlights on YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok and glorifying clips of people like Trae Young doing 35-foot pull-ups and Kyrie Irving putting on dribbling exhibitions. There's a great group of you hardcore basketball fans out there, many of whom watch this channel, who value the beauty of the game, footwork, hard work, the competitive drive, and winning intangibles. But you guys are often drowned out by those glorifying a sick crossover over diving for a loose ball. Many of these young stars grade how they perform based on their Twitter and the social media sphere. If we start gassing up the ones playing hard and calling out the ones who take off defense, maybe things can change.
So when I went back to Minnesota, knowing that this was my last stint, I started to see it there. When I came in the locker room, first off, nobody was in the locker room. I went to the training room, everybody in the training room chilling, leg up, phone. Hey, babe, hey, girl, you chill. This halftime.
I seen a motherfucker put his name in the Twitter search, and I'm like, that was never a thought.
So, you know, I'm OG. Hey, man, let me see everybody in the locker room for a second. I was like, yo, bro, what's this? And then Rubio. Nobody wants to talk, man. Everybody's on their fucking phones, man. We need to figure out the fucking pick and roll. Like,
it's that part of the game that sucks the energy out of you, because everybody's so worried about everything else now instead of what it was built on.
Now, the last and most important problem is half us as a society and half the players, and that is, what are you playing for? Now, we can say the money, and yes, I know at a young age, many of the players blow all their money by the time they've turned 50. But that's not just NBA players, that's most young people taught on social media to live a high life for the here and now instead of investing. But the question remains, what are you playing for? Now, I've talked about this many times before on the channel. Every one of us, God has given every single one of us a gift. You may be saying, no, Coach Eric, God didn't give me any gifts. Yes, I promise you he did. You may just not have realized what it is. If you're a great athlete like these guys in the NBA, you've been given an enormous gift. Now, what are you playing for?
The night they lost to Orlando, I said, Michael, I'm about to get out of here. Let me know when you want me to see you. because I'll see you tomorrow. Michael had an obligation to himself, the fans, his teammates, the organization, his family, everybody. He said, if you're gonna sit down and take 3 hours out of your day to watch me on TV, I have an obligation to give you my best. To give you my best all the time.
You have an opportunity to have pride for yourself, to get the best out of your ability, to have pride for your family, to represent the generations who came before you and got you where you are. You have the opportunity to show all the young kids and fans out there watching you that when you've been given a gift, you work hard to make the most of it. You're going to go out and play hard every night to set an example. Where did we lose this? Somewhere along the line as a society, we stopped actually watching, deeply analyzing, and paying attention. We just consumed BS news reports from ESPN, stats and narratives from people like Nick Wright, and stopped actually looking deeper. Why are we as a society glorifying players who've been given an amazing talent but aren't working hard, over players who've been given less talent but who are playing hard every night? If we go back to having quote-unquote fan favorites who are playing their butt off, maybe some players will start to strive for that. When we give away our fandom just to guys who are talented, we are pushing players that direction. So that's the solution, guys. Start a grassroots campaign among your friends. Support the guys that play hard every night. I've already given you one in TJ McConnell. If you look hard, there's plenty more out there. And last point, as I said, for those of you who may be coaching or playing and dealing with these issues, please guys, support coaches and players who play hard and do the things the right way over players with talent but who are cancers to your team. You may lose a game or two from it early on, but I promise you the culture will build. It will change your program into winners long term. Don't second guess people if the results don't come right away. Hard work and commitment always works better in the end. This was a little different content than usual. I'd like to start speaking my mind more and covering a bit broader issues in sports. I really want to use this to make a difference, guys. I hope you guys liked it. Thank you again, Red Horse Poppy, for the suggestion. Love you guys. Peace.
And you spoke from a perspective of a lot of fans, just the frustration with the lack of effort. Let's take a look at what you said.
It's not just based on the skill and talent. It's based on the pride, honor, playing for the guy next to you. I got a question for the NBA players. What the hell are you playing for?
Take us into just kind of your thinking.
There are core elements to sports that to me need to be staples.
Agreed.
You need to show up for fucking work.
Yeah.
You have to be on the fucking floor. I don't care. Like, for me, the team will support you. The league will support you if you can't go. If you're hurt and you can't go, fine. But I'm watching Kobe walk off the court with his friggin' finger dislocated, popping it back in and going. His Achilles is torn and he's shooting free throws. These are the facts. This is not like, I'm not making it up. It's right there for you to see. So do we want to celebrate that or not? Do we want to treat him differently because he speaks 5 different languages and he didn't grow up in the fucking hood? Like, no, the guy's a gamer. He's a gamer. Michael Jordan's a gamer. Those guys leave it all on the floor. I want to see athletes that want to go out and win at all costs and will give everything. Those are the guys I would go to war with. So it's not about fighting. It's not about going out there and fighting. You got to fight for the opportunity. You have to fight for the next generation. You have to fight for yourself and your family. You have to fight for the league. You know, in our sport in hockey, there's a lot of guys who didn't make $1 million a year, that didn't make $8 million, $9 million, that had to go and find jobs after playing. But you want to know something? Those guys played banged up. They played hurt. They played injured. They fought. They gave everything they had to give. And that has allowed me to make the money that I made in the National Hockey League. That has allowed me to have a decent job after my career's over because now we have a TV deal. It's not always the best team that wins. It's not always the best player that ends up hoisting the trophy. But ultimately, what I have to take from you is when I watch you for 82 games, do you give everything you have? Do you show up every night? Do you do right by your teammates? Do you do right by the game? Because ultimately, that is the best part of your legacy. That is what people will remember about you more than your championships and your rings.